A demon that comes back every 7 years to claim a child, a black water ritual that no one survives, and a mother who has to make a choice no parent should ever have to make. This is one of the most disturbing Indonesian horror movies in a long time. Let's get into it. The story starts with wedding preparation. A young woman named Rina is getting ready to marry the man she loves. Her mother is overjoyed, telling her it's time to move forward with life and that her late father would be proud of her. Rina promised she will be happy with her future husband, Pram. After her mother leaves, Rina looks at herself in the mirror. Suddenly, the mirror cracks. A photo of her with her father falls to the ground. She picks it up, hangs it back, but the lights start flickering. Her mother explains it away as a short circuit. Back in her room, the photo falls again. Then Rina notices an old man standing at her door. She follows him outside, but he vanished completely. At the wedding venue, the holy water meant for the ceremony has turned black and smelled terrible. Inside it, a dead rat. A religious leader examines it and says there's blood in the water. This is a clear sign of black magic targeting the bride. Time moves forward. Rina and Pram are married. Pram gets a promotion and they move into a new company house. Rina mentioned the strange wedding incident, but Pram brushes it off as coincidence. At their new home, they meet Mr. Mori and Mrs. Tara, a cleaning couple who come weekly. Strangely, the floor is covered in mud despite supposedly being cleaned. Rina noticed these are not random mud stains, they look like footprints. That night, the house feels unusually hot, even though there's no fan. The next day, Pram brings one home, but Mrs. Dara is shocked. No one in this area uses fans because the climate there is naturally cool. So why does their house feel so hot? Mrs. Dara suggests a housewarming ceremony to introduce Rina to the neighbors. Rina agrees. That night during the party, an old man dressed in black arrives. Rina assumes he is the religious teacher Pram mentioned and prepares tea for him. But he disappears before she returns. A neighbors reveal the real teacher never wears black, only white. Then Pram arrives with the actual teacher. The man in black was someone else entirely. During prayers, Rina sees the old man standing right in front of her. He points his finger at her, then turns to look at Pram before disappearing. Rina later tells Pram she is sure she saw him outside. Pram checks, nothing there. He still does not believe her. The next night, Rina can't sleep because of the heat. She showers. Unaware, the old man's spirit is right there, explaining the constant heat. Looking into the mirror, she sees his reflection pointing at her. When she turns around, no one's there. While sleeping, something drips onto her face. She looks up. The old man is stuck to the ceiling. He jumps on her, saying he wants her. She screams. Pram wakes up but still thinks it's just her imagination. He suggests having Dara and Mori stay with her during the day so she would not feel alone. The next morning while cooking with Dara, Rina suddenly feels nauseous and rushes to the bathroom. Dara calls Pram, who rushes home and takes her to the hospital. There they get wonderful news. Rina is pregnant. That night while Pram works late, Rina finds the muddy footprints again. No one knows where they come from. As she tries to sleep, someone keeps trying to open her bedroom door. When she checks, no one's there until the old man suddenly appears right behind her. He slashes her stomach with his claws. She tries to run, falls, and watches in horror as he pulls the fetus out and eats it right in front of her. She wakes up screaming. It was a nightmare. But when Pram notices she is bleeding heavily, they rush to the hospital and learn the devastating truth. They have lost the baby. The nightmare was real. The entity took the baby as a sacrifice. Rina shows Pram claw marks on her stomach. Proof this is real. Pram still struggles to accept it. The next day, Rina asks Dara about a local shaman. Mori brings in Mr. Nato, who senses dark magic has been placed on them. He gives them protective glass vials to place around the house, but warns this is only temporary. When Pram finds the vials, he gets angry, calling it superstition and throws them away. That night, wind blows the window open and beneath it are the same muddy footprints the entity has gotten inside. Later, Rina sees the old man's reflection in the kitchen mirror. She runs, sleeps on the muddy footprints, and he spits directly into her mouth. This time, Pram finally sees him too. Rina was never lying. The spirit flees to the roof and vanishes. Modi finds a strange spot up there containing black rat's blood. Confirmed by the shaman as proof of a black blood curse. To break it, they must find and destroy the cursed object at the source. Rina remembers an ex-boyfriend named Yudi who was obsessed with her and threatened revenge when she left him for Pram. They search for him, only to discover he was arrested by police years ago for unknown reasons, then vanished after release. Time jumps 7 months. Rina is now 7 months pregnant and nothing bad has happened. Thanks to the shaman protection. A friend reveals Yudi has been living with his sister. Pram and the shaman rush there, only to learn Yudi died 6 months ago. If Yudi had cursed them, his death should have ended the curse. But it has not. Yudi was innocent the whole time. That night, Rina sees the muddy footprints again and gets trapped inside a locked room as the protective feels shattered. The old man attacks, cutting her stomach deeply. Right as Pram and the shaman arrive and force the door open, Rina gives birth right there, and the entity is driven away just in time. They have a baby girl, but the shaman warns this curse follows a pattern of sevens. First appearing 7 days after the wedding, then a 7 weeks pregnant, and now 7 months. The real danger will return when their daughter turns 7 years old. Then 7 years pass. Their daughter, named Dewey, is not like other children. One shoulder sits higher than the other. She has unexplained marks on her legs and she cannot speak. She has Jinn blood inside her, a direct result of that curse. One day Dewey disappears. Rina finds her digging a hole with a knife. When Rina tries to take it, Dewey cuts her own mother's hand and runs. Later, Rina finds her eating a live animal in her room. Horrifying proof she is not entirely human anymore. With Dewey's 7th birthday approaching, Pram arranged for Mr. Naruto to bring a more powerful shaman named Iai, along with his son Aryo, to perform a protective ritual at midnight. As midnight strikes, the lights go out. The old man's voice echoes outside. He grabs Naruto, rips into his mouth, and kills him instantly. The remaining shaman Iai fights back with holy water and barely manages to force the creature away. But warns this protection would not last. The curse must be destroyed at its source, and soon. Police arrive to investigate Naruto's death, and the story is covered up. Afterward, Iai senses someone is hiding the truth. Pram finally confesses. There's a woman named Maur from his past who likely placed this curse. He reveals that years ago he was having an affair with Maur while planning to marry Rina. He chose not to marry Rina at first because her career kept her traveling. But when she gave up her job for him, he had no more excuse and had to marry her instead. Maur was devastated and swore his family would never know happiness. Pram had known this all along but kept it hidden out of guilt. Rina is heartbroken by the betrayal but ultimately forgives him, knowing they need to work together to save their daughter. Using a blood ritual, Iai locates Maur's house. Pram and Iai head there immediately, leaving Rina and Dewey with Aryo for safety. At Maur's house, she ambushes and knocks them both unconscious. Pram wakes up tied up, with Iai also unconscious nearby. Maur mocks them, then tries to kill Iai first too. Pram manages to push her into broken glass, freeing himself and Iai. Badly wounded, Iai tells Pram to find the cursed object immediately. Pram finds it, but by the time he returns, Iai has already died. Over the phone, Aryo, devastated by his father's death, instructs Pram to bring the object to him so he can perform the final ritual himself. But while Pram is gone, the old man reaches the house first. He kills Aryo instantly. Rina searches frantically for Dewey and finds the spirit has lifted her own mother into the air. Although Rina managed to bring her safely down, but Dewey is gone, being carried away by the entity. Rina catches up and grabs her daughter's hand. The spirit explains he is taking the child because his own blood runs through her, placed there through that earlier attack. Rina makes an impossible choice. She begs the entity to take her instead and leave her daughter behind. The entity agrees. Rina says goodbye to Dewey one final time, then disappears with the creatures into his realm forever. When Pram returns, Rina is nowhere to be found. Only her body remains. heartbroken and consumed by guilt. Knowing this was the result of his own past mistake, Pram leaves Dewey with her grandmother and goes after Mauer one final time, determined to end this for good for Rina's sake. At Mauer's house, she is waiting for him. He begs her to end the curse so Rina can return and Dewey can be saved. She refuses. A brutal fight breaks out. She burns his face with a torch. He eventually overpowers her, cutting off both her hands, even mutilated. She screams that his family will never know peace and that his wife will suffer forever. In a moment of pure rage, Pram beheads her. The instant Mauer dies, the curse breaks completely. Dewey's body heals, her shoulder strains. The marks disappeared and she is finally able to speak. The gene's blood and influence vanish completely from her body. Her grandmother is overjoyed to see her granddaughter healed, but Pram, unable to live without Rina and cursed by guilt over everything his choices caused, decides to end his own life. The story jumps forward years later. Dewey has grown up and graduated, raised entirely by her grandmother. In her graduation speech, she shares that she grew up without her parents and has no memories of them, but believes that wherever they are, they would be proud of who she is become. Her grandmother listens with quiet pride, knowing the immense sacrifice both her parents made to give Dewi this normal, peaceful life. So that was one of the most emotional and disturbing Indonesian horror stories we have covered. A curse built entirely on betrayal, jealousy, and revenge, and a mother's sacrifice that finally broke it. If you enjoyed this breakdown, give it a like and share it with someone who loves a good horror story. See you in the next one.